Yeah, beatboxes, noises. Bow, 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 bow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 2, 7, 4, A. 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 hell's going on here? Okay, so start you. Yeah, we'll just go with that. Oh, yeah. That's way different. That is way, way, way different. Yeah. Oh my god, that's way better. Alright, so I think our main characteristics are going to be weight. So let's try this again. 200. Okay. Yeah, okay. So I think weight plays a much bigger role in how the gun handles versus recoil. So you can go for low recoil, but if your gun, and that's a difference of let's say 0.4 kilograms, huge differences. Huge differences. All right? That's not even a little bit. All right, so we're going to go back to the other build, simplified one, which weighs more. Okay? Weighs more, but it has better ergo, and I think it has better recoil. But again, it weighs more. So 4.5 versus 4.1. It has 80, 80.5, and 74. 80.5 and 74 versus... So yeah, 4.5, 80.5, 74. To 4.1, 73, 75. So it literally, it has better ergo and better recoil. 3.72 MOA. This one has the same, okay? So this is almost just the difference between weight. That's pretty much all that matters right now. Alright, so let's do this again. We'll grab out our gun. Oh, I guess it would work if I had the gun. Alright. So now we're going to do the same thing, alright? So automatic fire at 50. Alright, so we got a spread there. It's not the greatest. Automatic at 200. Missed quite a few there. Okay. We'll do single shots at 50. Alright, that was not at single player. Keep forgetting that it keeps going back to auto for this. I immediately saw it was like it sounded different. Alright, this is at 200. Fifth one kind of went high. Okay. And now we'll go back to the other build again. Do our final test. Automatic fire at 50. Interesting case scenario there. You know what? Is this thing losing durability? Just testing it? Okay. That seemed a little weird. Let me do that again. Alright, full auto at 50. Full auto at 200. Single shot. 50. $200. All over the place that time. Couple shots really high. Kind of tight groupings though. I think one of those hit the neck. Not too bad. Think we can make our decision here now. And the funny part being, one of them did jam. So I guess we could test jamming now between the two. Just gonna spray. See how the jams are. It's kind of funny that my laser turns red. Oh, it's just showing the projectiles. I see it now. Okay. And the final test. Go back to simplified 1. Try again. Alright. Start looking at some tasks. Tasks. Textile. Ripstop. One more ripstop. Scabbers. There's literally no trader. Just the one for slickers. How many do I need? 3. How many of those can I get? Dang it. Sorry. Link search. Sorry. Filter by item. Filter by item. 6 slickers. 3 of these. Wait. Alright. So that's done and out of the way. Wait, how do I select more than one? What's going on here? Oh, these are different. Okay. Scabs on woods. Maybe we'll just do that. A couple runs of that. Scabs on woods. Let me go ahead and put these somewhere. feel like the traders should have a special coloring here, so they stick out very easily. I think that'd be like kind of nice. All right, they just shine to people's house on. Go try to be a blueberry for a bit. You know what? Durkadur. And Durkadur. I could wear a face cover with that. Never mind. So we just need that. That's for my AK. Take this off. Boop. Bada boop. Bada boop. 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 Bada boop. Bada boop. 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 Do I not have more untar? Untari. Where is my untari? Guess I don't. Let's go do a... Oh, duh. There they are. I was like, I knew I had untari. Don't tell me I ain't got untari. Where's all my untari? Sorry, that doesn't really go. It's not a good beat. We'll delete. Untari. 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 Oh, what's up, Lisa? Hey, streamer. We're doing good. It's gonna be a short stream today. I'm kind of just messing around with, gun builds a little bit here. I'm gonna go do a scav run, then we're gonna go do a little bit of M4, scav killing on woods as a blueberry here, and we will see how that goes. Let me just get this gun build going. But I'm gonna go ahead and try to find a, quality build here. Trying to create my own meta builds for things. So we got the Grawl. Cool. You should add me on your donation list. Toddy, 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 toddy. AR-15, 5.56, AR-15, AR-15, 5.56, AR-15. Okay, so it looks like the Mur is going to be the best. Then the AK, AX-15. The Mur, the AX-15. Then the Noveska, Gen 3. And then the ADAR after that. Okay. So if we went for ergo over recoil and weight, we'd be going with the Noveski at a 212, which is the Gen 3. The Mur for recoil. Troy Battle Mag. Nice. The creamiest of the creamies. Oh, hello. Come say hello. Yeah, you. I know what you're doing. Nice to see you. Okay. Um. Yeah, a little bit, I guess. Yeah, I'm just messing around. I don't have a full stream going, so I'm doing a lot of learning right now. Like 10, cool. Like 10, like an hour. Okay. Go with time, bud. Silly dude. What I'm saying? Yeah, maybe a raid. We'll see. I'm doing a gun build for the M4, trying to find a meta system here that I can enjoy, like, whatever. So I'm going to go with the shortest barrel just because it'll be the easiest for me to transfer, move around until I can learn more about why a super long barrel might be better other than, so it's, I'm looking at the lightest weight guns that I can get, period. And then if we can figure something out after that, then we will. But that's my goal right now. I'm not going to focus recoil. I'm just going to focus weight. We did a slight little testing, and it just seems like weight might play a much bigger role than I thought. Longer range, that's about it. But see, that's kind of where I'm like, I go back and forth, because even if you look at this, if you look at the accuracy, like it might be high, but I have guns that are in the threes that shoot really, really good. So do I need something that's like super extremely accurate when I'm not sniping? Otherwise, you just use a sniper, right? So I figure if not 80% of the combat I do, 90% of the combat that I do in this game is going to be close quarters within, let's say, 50 to 100 meters. And the guns that I do use within, like, even the shots that I get with my MCX, which I think it might be around a 3 MOA, I can snipe a sniper before he sees me. And that's a 3 MOA. So if something like this, a 2.4, like, I don't think I need a 1.1. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't seem like it's too important, the accuracy side. So I am trying to look for the shortest, most compact guns, the lightest guns, and then I will try a meta system based around just range and accuracy and see how much it matters. So yeah, I do go back and forth. Again, I still have a lot to learn about setting up guns in this game. I take a low recoil gun over an accurate gun. Right, and I just did a test just recently. I did a recoil gun versus a light gun, and the light gun was much more accurate than a recoil gun. So I've always been, recoil reduction. That's all I cared about. I didn't think weight played a big role. But I tested a gun that weighed 4.1 with higher recoil, and I tested a gun that weighed 4.5 with lower recoil, and the gun that weighed less was just it's not even remotely close. Like it was way more accurate. So I think the heavier the gun, the harder it is to pinpoint your accuracy. So if your gun weighs nothing, your ergo plays a bigger role in that, so you're able to get back onto center much quicker, And I think so I'm starting to find a little balance here of you want ergo and then you want lightweight, or if you want to look at the other way, you want your gun to be as light as possible, and then you start min-maxing for ergo, and then you min-max for recoil. So you look at it as a top to bottom sort of thing. The most important thing is going to be your weight. The next most important is going to be your ergo, and then you're going to want to look at recoil. So as long as you can get this thing down light, you can get it to a high ergo, the recoil being 4, 5, 6 points higher doesn't really matter, because the gun is already half a kilo to a kilo lighter, and you're saving on having to readjust a big gun over and over, So this is something I'm still learning. I could be wrong, but that's why I'm testing and I'm building many different guns to see what happens. I feel like as long as it's somewhat controllable, you can hit your shots. Right. That's why I always went recoil. But we just, like I said, I built an AKS 74U, one that's built for recoil and one that's built for weight, and the one that is lighter actually has way better accuracy. Single fire, automatic fire, it stays on point much easier. So it's almost as if, because a gun weighs, less and it has good ergo, you can get back to center because ergo is essentially how quick you go from down to centering, to getting that gun on sight. So I think ergo plays a big role when tied with weight, and that's where you want to go. So you want to get it down as light as possible and then keep that ergo up high, and then if you really need to get recoil down because it is showing a negative, then you can maybe balance between ergo and recoil. But I still think it looks like even point like 0.4 kilograms is better than 5-6 recoil. It just so I'll kind of show you my two builds for the AKS after I figure this one out. Okay, so looking at CMRD, MPX, SVD, SAG. None of those. Hexagon, MP5X, SAI. Okay, so SAI QD, 14.5. Okay, so I can't get the 14.5 because I have the 10.3-inch barrel. So we can do the SAI. So then we got the MP5, the 416, the UFM. MP5, the 416, the UFM. No. We got the 46, sorry. We got the SAG, the M10, and then the QD10. The SAG. Did I see SAG in there somewhere? Wait, let me see it. SAG MK1. No. Okay, so the next one down is the SAI for the 10-inch. So 10-inch handguard with the 10-inch barrel. So we're going to go there. And then we're going to look at gas block. MK12. MK12 Low Pro GS. GS 58. MK Low Pro GS. Okay, so the Low Pro actually has better. And then it's GS and then an MK12. Okay, so that's based on recoil though. So if we looked at ergo, okay, so we do which one's lighter? 0.05, 0.05, 0.06. Okay, so the Low Pro has less recoil with good ergonomics, whereas the MK12 has yeah. And then it also has better heat and cooling as well, the Low Pro. Okay, so if we go over and look at the MK12, it adds recoil. And we look at this one, it adds weight. It lowers ergonomics. Okay, so we're going to stick with the Low Pro. Okay, so we're looking at the Seiko. No, we're looking at Hera Arms, Tactical Sideways, the RK1, B25U RK1. Yep, okay, so the sideways grip. So at 4, the Zenit wins for recoil. At 3 recoil, Hera Arms, and then the side grip for the B25, which is what we got. B25. None of these seem to be good here. Magpul's good for 2, but the B25U has better recoil, better ergo. Well, better recoil, let's say. So I guess if we're going for ergo and we want to go down to 2, it would be the Stark. So I guess the Stark wins again. So it would increase ergo even more, and it's keeping recoil pretty low. 77 is not bad. Maybe this is lighter. Nope, that weighs more. And then if we go to which provides the better ergo, we got 8. Down we go to 1.5, that's 8. We go to 1, that's 9 for Strike Industries. It actually takes some weight off. So that's even lighter. So it goes up 1 ergo, 1 recoil, and 0.01 weight. I'm going to say a full point is better. I'm going to stick with that. Always using my D-ball. That's just a preference. Preferential. You know. You know. Add some ergo here with the cantilever. Add some ergo here with the cantilever. No? Where'd that go then? Oh, I see. Okay, so we add more ergo. So that's 2 ergo there. So if we go back to the B25, it adds weight. Right. What about Strike Industries? We go down in weight. Ergo goes up a little bit. So we'll see if weight matters on this one. Accuracy, recoil, -2 ergo, but we got that back with the cantilever. Oh, look at that already. Recoil is pretty darn low on this already. Now we can't run the jailbreak, obviously, which allows accuracy, recoil, heating, cooling, and burn characteristics. It's not a suppressor, so we went for the best suppressor idea. I think that wins. We stay fairly light, I guess. Let's say. Don't need that. Don't need that. Add some more ergo. We add our what I like to run for now. Some more ergo. Okay, so that's essentially the build. Now, what we can do from here is try to min-max. So, what do you guys think would be a possible swap? This thing's got really good ergo. It weighs 3 kilos, which is pretty heavy. Has good vertical recoil control at 64. So it should be fairly easy to shoot. We'll go ahead and call this simplified 1. Okay, so what do you guys thinking would actually be a better swap? So I'm wondering if cantilever weight would actually play a bigger role. We could remove that. We could try the jailbreak. Now I'm thinking because suppressor though, it might be best to keep that. You know, those add weight. So if we wanted to get weight down even more, what could we swap out? It's looking like we can get rid of the cantilevers. Maybe these weigh 0.02, these weigh 0.05. I don't think they would be too bad. I mean, for the amount of ergo you get, you know, so if you look at this, that's -7 for 0.4. If we were really in desperate need of it. So I'm thinking let's try this for now. I think some people have told me I should go to this. So to add recoil, it adds a little bit of weight. I've been told this is a better setup here. So we're at 98 ergo, 63 recoil, but the weight goes up even more. So we'll go as simplified 2. And then we'll go with, I think the AK-12 was the lightest one. It removes a lot of ergo, though. But it removes 0.14, which would be pretty big. So let's go there for lightening it up. Do simplified, or how about we do, hold on, let me close that, save as, light, and then let's go ahead and, I'm going to take these off, these cantilevers, and the stocks. I'm going to see if that takes down the weight a little bit more. So we'll do light 2. And then if we really wanted to go down even further, 2.601 with a jailbreak. 2.9. Okay, so let's take it down even more. We'll call this light 3. And now if you notice, the recoil's pretty much staying the same, and ergo's, you know, around the 90s, 90 to almost 100. But that's a pretty high ergo, as I understand it. That's like pretty good. So this would be what I consider a light build. So let's go ahead and get these built. I spend a little bit of money testing all of this, but that's okay. All right, so 300. What am I missing here? Oh. I was like, what? I didn't know it was full of ammo. Okay. I was about to say, like, it said it's a 5.56. What's going on here? It just had the wrong ammo. That's fine. Alright, so now we're just gonna fill it with... I guess I have more of this. So let me do this. We'll go grab a couple of battle mags. I don't have them. Just grab 2 more. It's okay. Make these our 5.56 mags. Alright, let's go to hideout. Okay, so with the 10.3 barrel, you're going to be limited in velocity and accuracy. You can decrease your recoil with a longer barrel, but it will come at the price of ergo. Okay, so here, let me just go back one more time. Alright. So now, when I look at this, okay, because you said based on that, you know, oh, the velocity, right? Alright, so let me show you my gun that I've been doing really well with. And again, this is kind of my bare minimum, alright? So this is what we're going from, okay? So this is essentially the super optimized MCX, which is really good. Now, if you look at the characteristics here, we're going from 4.4 kilograms to 2.9. We're going from 59 ergo to 90. We're going from 3.1 MOA to 2.31. We're going from 65 recoil to 63 recoil. From 179 to 181, not too much of a difference there. And then from 756 muzzle velocity to 731, not too much of a difference there either. But the big factor we should be noticing here is we're going to test what this badass machine does compared to this super lightweight motherfucker here. Now, even if I add a suppressor onto this, it's only around 3.2 kilograms, okay? So we're looking at nearly a 1.2 kilogram difference from a gun that I'm really good with to a gun that is now new to me, okay? So these are our essential base, how do I want to say, like, comparisons, okay? We're going from using a gun with whisper ammo, damage base, to a gun that can put down rounds, you know, pretty much at the same rate, just with a little bit lower velocity. And again, let me show you one more thing, okay? Because that's not the end of the story. I used to run this, okay? And this I was really good with. And if you look down here, 536 muzzle velocity. I was fighting pretty good with this thing. So again, we jumped up to 756, 59. We got more ergo here. It's a little bit crappier MOA. You know, the recoil is a little bit worse, whatever. And then now we're jumping to something like this. So we got you know, a shit ton more ergo. It's better MOA. Um, the recoil is lower, essentially. It's average between those two. The vertical recoil is essentially a little bit more, but it shouldn't matter too much because of the weight. And then the muzzle velocity I don't think is too bad, considering we've gone from 536 to 756, and I didn't really notice too much of a difference other than this gun weighs less now. So I was able to save zero point 0.3 kilograms, and this gun was really good. Although this gun is showing stats that are relatively close to this one, yet at almost a 1.4, 1.5 kilogram difference. And then again, the MOA on this, what is it? I think, what is it? Higher is better or lower is better? I can't. Hold on. Okay, with the smaller MOA indicating tighter groupings and higher accuracy. So yeah, a lower MOA means shot will land closer together, making it easier to hit targets. This is far more accurate than both of these guns, and I was very accurate with these guns. Very accurate. So this is where I'm doing my comparisons and testings. We have a shit ton more ergo. We are nearly a kilogram and a half lighter, and all the other stats are marginally different. Okay, so 800 per second, 800 per second, all 800 per second. So let's go ahead and test these. All right, textile part 1 is done. Let me go ahead and turn that in. All right, what rewards are we getting? A big body armor. You will be able to purchase this item. Okay, so we're only getting money. Complete. Okay, we'll get those later. All right, Cordura and Fleece. We'll go ahead and turn those in. Cordura, Fleece, and 5 ducks. How many Cordura do we need? Sorry. 6 more, I think. Alright. Oh, they gotta be... Okay, found and raid. So I need 5 more. 5 more, which means I need 10 bags. Alright, here we go. So we're going to start with fresh targets. I said fresh targets. I guess that doesn't get freshened up. Alright. Pretty good. I mean, that was pretty damn accurate. Now try auto. Definitely more accurate than my AKS. I'll tell you that. Okay. Single fire with my MCX. That thing is damn accurate. Damn. It's pretty nice. They're both really, really nice, man. Look at that. I'm not doing any recoil. I'm just letting it go. That is absolutely insanely accurate. Full auto is still rough, but again, I wouldn't be doing that unless somebody was like rushing me or some shit, you know? So let's always take that into account. I'm almost always going to be semi-auto. I'm only testing full auto just to see if one is just insanely good. Alright, full auto. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, so now... little bit of recoil finagling there. That's pretty good. 7 shots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could say, I don't know if 2 of them hit the same spot, but we got 5 on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But again, let's remember, we're talking about saving 1.5 kilograms. If you guys can tell me you see a major difference in the capability over a 1.5 kilogram savings, just let me know, okay? Alright, I kind of lost, I blurred out there on that, like the last two shots I kind of blurred out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All 7 shots are on target. I will rarely shoot like this in the real world, though. That's a pretty big distance there to be shooting a guy, okay? So most of the guys I'm probably shooting are probably at this target, maybe a little bit further, and then, you know, somewhere between that. I don't know if I would ever shoot a guy with that small of a head point. Okay? Alright. So now let's go build the other M4. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, okay. Alright, well let me just let me take, hold on, let me take these two out. So I could do some swapping around here. We'll do that one. Do that one. For now. Okay. So now let's go build the other M4 with suppressor and see what you guys think. So that's that was light 3. So now let's just go to simplified 2. Okay. So this is essentially adding all the ergo back. That's plus 4 ergo. The weight goes up. Alright. Back to single fire. Tell you what, I don't think we're going to see much of a difference between suppressed and non-suppressed. But we're going to save 1.5 kilos. Now, maybe enemies come after me more. I don't know. It's kind of shitty. I mean, you know, again, I'm most likely never going to go full auto unless a target is, you know, in my shit. Something like that, you know, so I would have much better control over it. They come rushing at me, they come through a door, that's what they're gonna get. Can't see with this gun. That was 7 shots. I think I missed like 3 of them. Yeah, they're kind of all over the place, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All 7 shots. But one did hit low. And maybe one would have missed the head as soon as I shot for him. Yeah, so I probably won't do, I'll do like one raid in our blueberry with the M4 out in woods, and then I'll probably be getting out of here. I'm gonna go eat. Tomorrow we'll be on for a full raid, though. I was busy today doing things, and, you know, I had to reset my network for fun, and, yeah, and then I figured today I'll just do some meta builds and see what's going on. So, what do you guys think you're seeing here? Because my feel is that I'd rather save 1.4, 1.5 kilos than to have a couple of different stats manipulated to be better. Okay? So if we're looking at the grand scheme, we're, you know, from 90 to 98 ergo, you know, 2.31 to 2.38, 63, maybe 65 vertical recoil, and then 736 to 751 muzzle velocity. But again, the big stat here is that we're going from 2 point something to 3.5. Okay? So what do you guys think in the overall scheme of what you saw there would actually be the better play? Because I'll tell you what, it doesn't look to me like there's much of a difference. You know, we could run this suppressed the way it is now. So if we look at the stats in the top right, we got, this is simplified 2, simplified 1. Forgot what the difference here was. Okay, that's AK-12. Right, okay, so this is a buttstock difference. AK-12, simplified 2. We're running the Daniel defense. So we go up in weight. So yeah, you know what, let me go through these again. So we got simplified 1. Take a picture. Simplified 2. Take a picture. And we'll just take a picture of all of these so you guys get a rundown of all the stats that I'm trying to manipulate and meta in a way that makes sense to me. And then we'll go from there. You guys let me know what you think could be fixed, changed, or might show a definitive proof to something. Okay, I don't think that was all of them. Alright, so there's one. And that's with the AK-12. This is a lightweight suppress. So this gun's focus is lightweight with suppression. This one is changing just the stock. So this is the stock that Johnny has always told me to run. So we're going from 80, you know, 3.098, 89 ergo, to 98 ergo, 3.2, 63, 64, 185, 181. So a lot more ergo for sure. But we also are gaining 0.2 kilos. And then we got this one, which is our simplified light. Okay? So this is looking for a light scenario. So we go down to, this is 309090. Sorry, what's the difference here? Okay, no, that's right. That's with all the attachments on. This removes the cantilever and extra ergo to get rid of just a little bit more weight. And then this one removes even more weight. So we have the lightest scenario possible with good ergo. And again, this ergo is higher than the MCX I run. The MOA is better, and the recoil is fairly better. It's 772 MS. So what do you guys think you're seeing here? 3090, 89, 233, 64, 185. 3232, 90, 98, 233, 63, 181. Back down to 3090, 89, 233, 64, 185. Even less ergo because we just removed the extra weight there. So we go from 3090 to 2950. Not too much. And then for ultimate weight reduction, We remove the suppressor, we go to the jailbreak, and now we're at 2.690.226, which is a little bit more accurate. And then vertical recoil of 63,181. So what do you guys think will be is the end case scenario for this weapon? Everything else is pretty much set in stone. So as far as the laser I use, this weighs less than the other one with the same characteristics. The Grawl is the best. The Battle Mag is the best. This can be used on every single variation. I have the lightest charge handle with the highest ergo. So the best there. I have the best handguard as far as meta goes, ergo recoil. And then this is set in stone. I'm just going to use this period. So what do you guys think? This this flash hider or whatever muzzle device is the best in slot. So a lot of this stuff that's marked with equipment are kind of set in stone type of things here. I'll actually mark this as well because that's the best charging handle. We don't really need to mark this. There's only one. It's on or off. This versus the MK12, again, this one's lighter with the same stats, so there's no reason to use the MK12 unless I have to. But there's only 2 or 3 of these, so I'm not too worried about the gas blocks. So I'm just essentially going with, do we go suppressed? Do we go with jailbreak? Do we go, you know, meta for as much ergo as possible? Do we care about weight? And in this case scenario, I think I want to care about weight because it'll allow me to build up my endurance skill at the beginning of a raid. And then once I start looting some things, we'll become overweight, and then it'll go into building up my strength skill. So I'm also looking into skill meta building alongside these weapons. That's why I'm focusing on the lightest possible weapon variations, and then the highest ergo or recoil reduction versions for when weight doesn't matter anymore. And to me, it looks to me like weight plays a very major role in how the gun handles. So we're gonna go with our ultimate weight reduction here. And try one more time. Oh, it's already 10 o'clock. Shit. Okay. We're gonna try quick here. So just let me know what you guys think. Again, we'll most likely be in single fire all the time. No, and that's no recoil reworks. I'm just letting it shoot. All right. Ooh, what the hell? That's my bad. That was my bad. Okay, I think I need to put at least some recoil retention on that. Sorry. Just to keep it down from the first initial shot. Single fire. That's my bad. Pretty good. I mean, the gun's good. I think I missed one. I let it center as much as possible with some adjustment there. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did miss one. Oh, I kind of like them all, to be honest. I don't think there's really, you know, too much variation that matters. I mean, I could run lightweight stocks. I can run suppressed. I think they'll both work, you know? clear which one's much easier to control, though. M4 is a little bit more chaotic in that scenario. So what's the overall defining factor now that would state that the MCX is actually easier to control? So M4 is better ergo, has better accuracy, has less recoil except on the horizontal, and a little bit lower muzzle velocity. Yet the MCX is much easier to control. What do you guys think is the case scenario there? Because the M4 is light, it's harder to control? Is that what, you know? That's the only thing I see here. So ergo is not helping on the M4. Now, I do have mastering 3 on this, so maybe that plays a role. Let's look at skills. I actually didn't even think about that. Oh, is that maxed? Mastering only goes to level 3 now? Okay. What does that give, though? That doesn't give anything, huh? Oh, okay, I see here. I don't see the MCX for some odd reason. Yeah, I don't know why it's not showing the MCX here. What up, Oli? Oh man. Trying to figure out the perks of mastering here. Depending on the weapon, reaching level 2 or 3 will provide a new reload animation. Level 3 grants the ability to reload while aiming down sights for all weapons in that mastery category. Okay, so it's nothing, no real perks. Okay, so I'm trying to decipher a meta system here, and I can't really say I see it. So are heavier guns easier to control? Ergonomics doesn't help control. Accuracy being better doesn't help control. Vertical recoil doesn't help control. Horizontal recoil might. And then muzzle velocity being faster, maybe? What do you guys think? Just made ChatGPT do a new theme to my Twitch channel. It's crazy what AI can do right now. Yes, it is. Now, give it a couple more years and it might just be doing it for you without you asking. And then it'll hit you up like, hey, I got something that's better for you. And you'll be like, oh, shit, I didn't even ask. Thank you. So, Oli, maybe you can help me decipher what's going on here. Why does my MCX shoot much cleaner? It's much easier to shoot my MCX. If you're looking at these stats, what would be the defining factor? My MCX is definitely able to shoot easier. Now, the M4 isn't hard to shoot. I would never shoot this fast, this often, this crazy. But is it the weight? It's the only real big difference. My MCX weighs, 1.4 kilos more. What would be the... No. Okay, so let me go ahead and suppress it so I can show you. All right? So I built an unsuppressed... This is the lightest M4 that I like. Okay? Now, I can add the cantilevers to it for more... this would be 4 more ergo here. If I add the sights and I add these, okay? So, but again, this has way more ergo than my MCX, okay? So let's go ahead and we'll do the... I gotta get rid of something here to make room. Okay. So I'll show you my suppressed, and we'll do a side-by-side with the MCX. So I'm trying to build guns that are just like my MCX because it's really, really good. So I will show you my suppressed version. And this is with the buttstock that I was recommended to use. Danu Defense with the TCS butt pad. Okay. So go ahead and put that on. Throw that on. Okay, so now we're suppressed again. We're at single fire. Right, so, you know, not super tight groupings. I did have a little bit of trouble there with horizontal. Now the MCX. Clearly tighter groupings. Okay, I'll wait for the ads. Okay. I know builds aren't all about ergo anymore. You need to have good recoil too. But those stats in the guns look good. The MCX I never got good at making a good build for, so I'm probably not much help with it. I would use that same DD stock on most guns with either of those foregrips you have on the gun, and you should be good. Each run has different base stats, so it should be a little different for each weapon and what you need to go for, whether that's ergo or recoil. Okay. So in the grand scheme of things, basically what you're telling me is, at this point, it would essentially be preferential as to what you absolutely need, and I would say that's lighter weight. Okay? So both of these, once again, the M4, much, much higher ergo. Doesn't seem to matter. M4, much better accuracy, yet the MCX is more accurate. Higher ergo, MCX is more accurate. Better accuracy, MCX is more accurate. Sighting range is the same. It uses the same scope. Recoil, MCX is more accurate. Recoil, MCX is more accurate. And muzzle velocity, MCX is more accurate. I can control the MCX way better. The only difference here, and now we're talking a few points, you know, 20 ms on the velocity, 2 on horizontal recoil, 2 on vertical, same here, better accuracy, better groupings, much better ergo. Yet the M4 is 3.5 versus the MCX being 4.4. So I think in my head, if I looked at both these stats and I looked at the way I shoot them, And if I wasn't me, I would say that heavier guns are easier to control. Would you say that that sounds correct? Because my experience is I can shoot my MCX way better than I could shoot this M4. Yet, if you look at the paper stats, these, you would think higher ergo, better accuracy, lower recoil, slightly higher recoil, lower muzzle velocity. You would think the M4 would be better, I would think. So it's either muzzle velocity plays a big role in keeping that bullet as straight as possible, or weight plays a big role in keeping the gun centered better. Okay, I'm not the best at making builds. I just know what the meta attachments are, and I make builds using them. I'm not into the super in-depth stuff. Okay. I know you're really good, though. So, like, you're one of those people I would love to coach. Like, that's what I think. Like, if I can find something in creating builds that is 100% true, then maybe I can give you that knowledge, and you can go out and be way better, you know? So like that's something I like to do. You know, I'm a stats guy because I'm not a good shot. I don't have, you know, I'm not good with my mouse as some people are. I don't have the best accuracy or recoil control, or, you know, I can't see anything. I'm getting old and my TV's blurry and my PC doesn't run very well. But so for me, I always look to what improves my capability as a low skill old man, let's say, with a crappy TV and a low performing PC. And to me, this MCX is really, really good. Really good. Okay, yeah. All right. Just keep the firing range up, test stuff, and yeah, it's preference for the most part. I don't know about weight on weapons affecting things. I'll be honest, I always could control a meta M4 better than the meta MCX. I'm not the best person to ask this. I don't know how stats really affect the weapon like some people do. No, dude, don't. Dude, that's fine. That's fine. I can essentially, from my understanding is, you know, Ergo's biggest thing is ADS time and how loud your gun is. So in PvP, the higher the Ergo, the less people are going to hear you sighting in. Okay? Sighting in, sighting out, sighting in, sighting out. Your MOA, the lower, the better. This is tighter groupings. So when you're doing full auto or you're doing semi-auto full mag dumps, a lower number here should essentially keep the bullets closer together. All right? And then obviously, I'm pretty sure you understand recoil, the lower the better. Muzzle velocity, the faster the better. It's less damage drop off with higher velocity. And the bullets should meet their target much faster too, which could help accuracy as well. And the only thing that I understand about weight right now is that I thought the idea was the heavier the gun, the easier it is to control the recoil because it's so heavy. So this having 65 at 4.4 kilos versus this having 63 at 3.5, the reason the MCX is way more accurate is because even though it has 2 points higher recoil, its weight is counteracting those 2 points by keeping it from lifting so much, because the bullet doesn't have enough power to lift 4.4 kilos, whereas, you know, on the M4, it being 3.5, maybe it is making the recoil a little bit harder. So I'm in my head thinking it actually might be better to have the heaviest possible version of a gun while then going towards recoil to control it even further. Okay? So both these guns are amazing. They feel great. But comparing a really good gun that I've been using the whole game to a new gun, I'm kind of like, okay, damn, the MCX wins again. So I'm looking at both of them and going, what is the defining factor? We got the same mags, we got the same grip, we got the same stock, we got the same scope. I'm using the same ergo characteristics, the best in slot suppressors for them. The best in slot grips, essentially. I use the same laser pointer. Oh, no, this one doesn't have the same laser pointer. So don't worry about that, I guess. So yeah, I'm thinking. So now let's go ahead and do one more test before I get out of here, guys, because it is, I guess, getting later than I thought. All right. Oh wait, no, that is the heavy build. Okay, never mind. That is the heavy build. 3.592. Okay. So right, this, I think this would perform better than my lightest build. Okay, so we're going from 3.592 down to 2.6. Alright, almost done here, guys. I appreciate all the help, all the feedback. Alright, so we'll go single fire again. We'll do a little bit of control to keep it centered. That looks really good. That looks really good. This thing's so nice, man. I just can't deny how badass this gun feels. I mean, that's pretty good. That, you know, the groupings aren't as tight, but if I was shooting for something, that's inside a head. That's inside the head every time. It's so nice, man. I love this MCX. It is so good. Alright, full auto up close. I guess we'll do this one. Full auto up close. Actually, the M4 wins on that one. As far as control and grouping, that's actually really, really nice. Alright, so let's do a full auto with the other build. That was actually very nice. So now we'll do our lightest suppressed build. Alright, 2.950 versus 3.5. This is our lightest suppressed build. There's no way to change these targets, huh? Does anybody know if there's a way I can change that? Or reset them, maybe? Yeah, see, that doesn't reset them. Maybe I gotta leave. Come back. Nope, they're still there. Alright, well, we'll try these two. We'll try the two end ones. I'll be in center here, okay? Ooh, that's looking pretty crappy. Huh? Look at that. That's unsuppressed. That's suppressed. They're centered more, but that horizontal recoil, that vertical recoil is insane. I was trying to control that best I could. So that's unsuppressed, suppressed. And this is suppressed MCX right there. So let's go with, sorry. I'll stay in center here. fairly the same as this one, I guess. Fairly. But look at that. That's unsuppressed M4. That thing is... So maybe weight plays a better role in close quarter combat centering, let's say. Because that's my lightest suppressed 2.9. This is unsuppressed at 2.6. 0.3 kilos less. And that, look at that grouping. If I had a shot higher, that dude's face would have been absolutely destroyed. Okay. I think I think I'll just go with the weight, guys. I think I'll just go with the weight. So let me do... damn it. I'm going to say it again. Let me do one last build. So we got the suppressed M4 right now. Sorry. Suppressed M4. Let me go back in there. I want to hear how this sounds so I can record these both. So, full auto. We're just going to shoot. This is suppressed. I'm going to make little clips of this. Okay, that peaked into the red on my OBS. Remember having trouble controlling MCX from long distances, and with the Razor sight or one of the meta sights, it gets hard to control long range versus the M4. You can have a Razor and zoom in to the 6 times or 8 times, whatever it is, and still laser people full auto. Okay, now, watching higher skilled players, and I mean in the game, skills like this, watching people with higher skills, dude, the M4 just sits there. It doesn't even move, man. So it does seem like the long distance automatic firing meta. M4 seems to be the killer there. I mean, I don't even have to really test that. I've seen too many videos of people spraying with M4 and it just sits in the center and they're shooting people from super far. So you're 100% right there. No doubt. I don't even have to try to argue that. The M4 I know can be very accurate at longer distances. The MCX though, I have better control at any distance. That's what it seems to me. Now I'm not doing full auto with it. So again, I think in that term, the M4 does seem to be badass on high skill, high player skill, high character skill. Okay, now let's test this one. I'm going to bring up my suppressed video here. So let me do... Now, let me make these both. So, full auto. We're just going to shoot. This is suppressed. I'm going to make little clips of this. It's right there. So let's go with... Sorry. Stay in the center. It didn't even get the whole clip? Come on, Twitch. I clipped it after I did... What? That's funny. Yep, so I didn't get that clip. Okay, well, that's fine. Barely the same as this one. So let me see this again. We're just going to shoot. This is suppressed. I'm going to make little clips of this. It's right there. So let's go with... Okay. So it hits into the red. Now let's do this one. Full auto. That's also into the red. I'm gonna make now full auto. That's all. We're just gonna shoot. This is suppressed. I'm gonna make little clips of this. It's right there. So let's go with, sorry. Yep, it's pretty close to the same. Suppressed definitely, quieter in game, let's say, but not according to OBS. They pretty much hit the same decibel levels. So I think that's gonna be it for us, unfortunately. But tomorrow we'll get on to the M4 and running it and trying to be badass with it. About the build too, you don't need to level up those skills much. I've seen builds first week of white for M4, it's just laser. There's a build for 100 ergo, I think too. It gets wild. Alright. I think we're in a good place here. I think both these guns are pretty badass. I don't see any real negatives to them, suppressed or unsuppressed. I think I could run them both. My MCX is still gonna be my badass weapon though. I can definitely see I like it. Like, I can't get away from this gun. It's just too good. It's just too good. Shooting faces as much as I can with it. Actually, no. Because we're going to take that in. Now, I do have to run suppressed for this, I believe. No, just M4A1 rifle, period. Alright. Okay, so let me go ahead and I guess we'll just go ahead and put the ergo stuff back on. It doesn't really seem to matter, but we might as well save our space right now. Oh. Okay. No. Okay, simplified was... Okay, that's with everything on it. 3090 suppressed. That is with the buttstock that everyone recommends, Daniel Defense, with all the meta stuff on it. This is the lightest stock with all the meta stuff on it, suppressed. This is without the meta stuff on it, with the lightest stock. And then this is the lightest possible situation I can get for it. Or lightest possible with some meta stuff. So I guess let's go ahead and just add these guys back on here. Throw the ergo pieces back up. What? Why am I buying parts? I have them. What? What? Why am I buying parts for it? Now where's the scope? What the hell? What just happened here? Why is the scope off? Was I shooting it without a scope? I'm so confused now. Right. So that's the gun I have. Assemble. What the hell? Excuse me? I literally have the gun ready. What's going on, guys? What just happened here? I just lost my parts. What the hell? It literally just deleted my gun. It literally just deleted my gun. What? What the hell? It just deleted it. Okay, guys. I guess it's time to go. MK12? I wasn't using MK12. What the shit? Dude, what the shit? It literally deleted my gun. This ain't even the gun I was using. What is going on here? Yes? Oh, I'm sorry. That's not the right gun. That's not... Okay. Oh, I'm like, what the fuck? Hold up. There it is. Okay, I'm sorry. I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Alright, okay, I'm good. I was like, dude, don't... Oh, man. That's funny. So where did that M4 come from? Where did... Where... Wait, how did I get a second M4 in here now? Because... Alright. That's fine. That's fine. We got our gun. I was about to say, like... Yeah, I don't know where that gun came from. We just got one back for some reason. Ragman. Your Colt M4... M5... 556 was bought. 556 was bought. 556... 5... Yep. Cool. Actually, I think we can get those all. He didn't give me anything but money. Yep. So we just made a couple, about 120 grand or so. Simplified Light 3. Yeah, okay. I was about to say, like, dude, what's going on here? I don't hate you, no. So tell me why. It's not on. Do 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 do. Okay, we got the Low Pro, which is lighter than the MK12. Or yeah, Low Pro has better recoil as well. MK12 is, yeah, these two are not good. So we're using the Low Pro now. D-ball just because I like that. We could go with something like this, but we lose ergo for even more recoil reduction. But I think it's better to have a little bit more ergo. Does anybody know how to exit this without hitting the arrow? That'd be nice to know. That's meta. Can't change that. It's only one thing. We could change the stock. That's the best in slot. Everything else increases weight, lowers ergo. So this one, yeah, this one increases a little bit of weight. The Raptor's nice, but it's a little bit heavier. So the Avalanche is the best there. Meta. These I think is pretty much best in slot. Essentially, this can be better for recoil. Lowers 2 recoil, 7 horizontal recoil. minus 10 ergo. So I think we could probably go to something like this for even more recoil reduction, which I could try tomorrow. And a little bit more muzzle velocity too. Don't need that. Jailbreak can't have both on there. Low pro. That's essentially meta. Yeah, there's only one of those. And then I guess the stock. You guys like that Daniel defense. So this is brings up my ergo and just recoil a little bit. But a lot more ergo and more weight. Okay, there's the 100 ergo. Build. But if we're going for a little bit more recoil reduction on the horizontal side of it all, we would go with that. And that would essentially be where we're at for today. Alright, so we'll run this tomorrow. Everything else we could delete in here. Jailbreak we keep. It's a keeper mod. My MCX mags can go back down here. That's my AKS rig. 545 rig. I don't hate you now. So tell me how do we get out? Do 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 do. Okay. Yeah, this is some. I don't know where this gun comes from. Oh, this is the one I got back from John. Or I got this back from insurance. And it didn't have it. My suppressor's gone. My scope's gone. So yeah, apparently it got scavenged. That's why I'm missing those parts. But here is my AKS 74U that I meta built. I have two versions of this, but this one seems to be easier to control. So these are all essentially my meta parts, minus this one, which should be the AK-12 old. The AK-12 old is actually better. Yeah, it's less weight, more ergonomics. AK-12 old. Yep. All right. So yeah, that's essentially my meta AKS. We got our meta M4 now. We got our meta MCX. We're getting there. We're getting there. Alright, guys. I appreciate everyone playing it casual. I'm going to dip out. I know we didn't get much raiding in today, or any at all. But we have other days. I will be back. Alright, it's already another hour in. That is my bad. Alright, I'm out. Double deuces. I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully for a full raid.
Come get some.
And thanks again, Oli and John, and Zan up there, man. I appreciate the feedback. Big time.